to Freedom Circle Podcast. I'm Marcia.
And I'm Chantrice.
So today, guys, you have the opportunity to have an intimate conversation with me and Chantrice. Sade, we miss you so much. Today,
Yes, we love
we're
you.
talking about being present in the moment. With the world that we live in, a lot of times we don't take the time just to be present. It's always go, 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 go. What's next? And even when we're sitting down in somewhere, we're always thinking about what we need to do, what's going on tomorrow. But we never really take the time just to sit still and be present and enjoy the moment that we're in. And so we just wanted to just give you guys some tips on being present and the importance of being present. So Chantrice, tell us a little bit about your experience with being present in the moment.
Yeah, so for me, it's always about, not always, but overthinking, right? I get stuck in that cycle of like, okay, should I do this? Should I not do this? And for example, I feel like, with working out, right? We all want to work out. We all want to be healthy. We want to eat healthy. We want to be on this road to like, okay, health is wealth, that type of thing. Right. But for me, it's always been like this up and down battle with it. You know what I mean? Because there's times I'm like, okay, I'm in the gym, I'm eating right, I'm very consistent, I'm intentional with it. But then there's other times that I stop and I fall off, and it'd be like one day that, hey, I'm tired and I don't go to the gym or I don't work out. And then now that one day becomes 2 days and then there's a week. And you know what I mean? So it's just that being stuck, or feeling stuck, I should say, in that pattern about being present.
Yeah. I know for me, I think because I have so many responsibilities or roles, being a wife, being a mom,
Right.
entrepreneur, professional, the oldest daughter. It's like my mind is always like going, right? It's always
Hmm.
thinking about what I need to do, what I haven't done, what
Yeah.
what I haven't completed. And I feel like it takes away from that moment that we're in. Cause like, for instance, I could be at my kid's soccer game. I'm there, right? I'm there physically there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
mentally I'm not there. And I remember one day I realized I was talking to, I think, my daughter, and we are talking about something. She was like, Mom, do you remember something, something, something? And literally, I could not remember. Like, I remember being at the place, but what she was talking about, I could not remember it. And it made
Hmm.
me realize how a lot of times I'm somewhere physically, like my physical body is there, but
Right.
mentally I'm somewhere else. And it reminded me the importance of, like, girl, put your phone down, put your stop
Hmm.
sign up in your head, right? So when your mind starts to wander, put your stop sign up and be present here, right? Like the
Right.
word God says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own troubles. Let's be present in today. And I realized not being present in that in any moment, you miss so much. And it's
Right.
the important things that you miss that you can't get back.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the truth, right? Because I feel like I do the same thing. We have so many roles to play, but it's still like even at nighttime, like I can be up and just thinking about either my day or things that I need to do, what I want to do. And it's like, oh my God, like where does that come from? You know what I mean? Like, why are we allowing our thoughts to kind of just dictate that and keep us up at night and stop us from being present in that moment with our friends, family, whatever the case may be? I know I'm also guilty of, not being present is like, when I'm at work, right? So if there's other things in my brain, I can't be productive. I can't get anything done. By the end of the day, it's like, oh my gosh, this whole 8 hours that went by, I haven't done no work. People are asking things of me, I'm trying to do that. And I don't have it. I don't have it at all. But I think in my thinking about things, it's like, okay, well, where does that start? Like, yes, right now. But like, when we were kids, we were carefree. We were able to just play and run and not have to worry about anything. And I can remember, just being like, oh, I can't wait till I get older so I can do this, or I can't wait till I get older so I can drive or whatever. And now we older, and it's like, man, I wish we could go back to that time when we were carefree. You know what I mean? Like when we didn't have to think about, okay, the bills is due, we got to put gas in the car, or maybe right now your finances aren't what they want, where you want them to be, or what they're supposed to look like. And it's like, okay, God, where's that coming from? We have all of these things being piled on us, piled on us, piled on us. And it's like, yeah, we have to do something about that because we're not being able to be present with all of that going on in our head.
And, I think it really goes back to where are we placing our trust? Because
Right.
if we are continuously having these racing thoughts and thinking about all of these things, that means we're trying to kind of control and dictate the outcome of things.
Mhm.
Whereas God is like, I got it. Like, I already take care of it. Why you weren't like, I literally can hear God saying, like, tomorrow not even here yet. Why are you even
Right.
worried about tomorrow? Like, we're
Right.
still in today.
Hmm.
And you only can do what you can do in this moment. Like us focusing on other things that we
Yeah.
can't do in this moment is not benefiting us when we need to focus on what we're doing right now, because
Right.
this hour, I can't get it back.
It's true. It's true.
So I think that it's like, where are you putting your trust, right? And this is like me asking myself, like, where are
Right.
you putting your trust? And also understanding that I can't do everything. Like,
Right.
God gives us the capacity to do things,
Hmm.
right? The saying that he never puts more on you than you can bear, right?
Hmm.
The thing is, what people don't realize, like, yes, if God gave it to you, you can accomplish it. But it's like, how does he want you to accomplish it? Now, does he want you to accomplish it? Does he want you to use somebody in your network, in your circle? Like,
Right.
literally, it may not mean you physically doing it, but you partnering with someone to get certain things done. And especially like if you have like racing thoughts and like you always like, oh, you always they call it like a fire starter, like where you're always
Yeah.
getting downloads of like ideas and things that you should do. I would always say, like, keep a notebook, or even in your note, in your note section of your
Your
phone,
phone.
and
Hmm.
write stuff down, because it doesn't mean that you're supposed to do that thing right then and there,
Yeah.
but you're supposed to keep note of it, take note of it, and allow God to tell you like when to do it. Like, God, is this something that I'm supposed to focus on now? Or is
Hmm.
this for a designated time? And so, God, I'm going to write it down. So please let me know when, give me a sign of when to move on it. And because
Yeah.
we have social media, we're always getting distracted by what other people
Always.
are doing. And so we're like, oh,
Hmm.
so we're thinking that, oh, I can do this now, or I should do this now. I'm going to miss my moment. Like, I need to do this now. But
Hmm.
God is like, I just need you to do what I need you to do. And you can't focus on time, because sometimes we also get caught up in like, oh my God, I don't have the time. The end of the year is fast approaching. Oh, I'm about to be 30, 40, 50. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, I'm not
Right.
gonna, but God is like, why are you even worried about time? I'm the creator, I'm a redeemer of time. Like, whatever I have put before you, you're going to get done. And when you allow yourself to just sit back and be present, you'll realize how much less stress you are and how much more
Right.
peace and joy you have, because you're able to just sit back and take in everything. Like, I remember when I really started just to like be still, like literally appreciate the clouds in the sky, appreciating the
Right.
sunset, right? Being able
Hmm.
to appreciate the beauty of the world, the trees, the flowers. Like, it's so peaceful just being able to sit back and listen to the birds chirp. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like, it's so freaking peaceful. And especially for us who have kids, like being present with your kids, and like if they have a soccer game, if they have a performance, and to be able to have a conversation with them after that, and to see them light up, because by the conversation, by what you're saying, they're like, they can tell that you were really engaged, you were paying attention. Or they can look over at you and just see that you're on your phone and be like, well, you're not even paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are all, all good things, right? And I think it's definitely true about, where you're putting your trust, right? So I feel like, on the other side of that too. So I hear people that, maybe their walk is different with God, right? So maybe they're not as close or they're still developing that relationship and they're just like, okay, like I hear that, but they're being pulled in different directions because maybe they are a mom or maybe they are a wife, but they're being asked to do so many things. So it's like, well, how do I tackle these things? And it's really just about slowing down. You know what I mean? Like that's what being present is, just slow down. Like I know that you might have to rush home from work, make dinner, get the kids bath, or help them with homework, and still spend time with your significant other. Just slow down. You know what I mean? I think that I've learned along this journey is that we have to just stop for a little bit. And I know that sometimes we talk about, okay, well, let's stop, then it don't get done. That's okay, because it's gonna be there tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to finish it all because it's still going to be there. The work is still going to be there. That laundry is still going to be there. It's going to be there. So it's really just taking account like, okay, well, how can I really do that? Because I feel like when we overwork ourselves, when we are running ourselves to the ground, going to the grocery store, being present for everybody else, showing up and listening to everybody's troubles, their problems, you start to feel sick. You start to feel run down because you're not sleeping and because you're taking on other people's stuff on top of your own things. It's like, why are we doing that? We're not meant to carry anybody else's burdens or anything like that. You have to get yourself to a good place first, right? Like you have to be happy, whole, healed before you can do for others, right? You have to love yourself first before you can do for someone else, even for your kids. If you're not in the right headspace, you're not in the right place in your heart, how are you going to be effective to them? How are you going to be that role model to them? How are you even going to do the things that you want to do? You're gonna lack the motivation, you're gonna lack, you know what I mean? Like your spirit is gonna just be run down. So you gotta slow down and just pause. And pause doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. It will happen. It's just like GPS, it reroutes you just a little bit. You know what I mean? You're still gonna get to your destination, but you just gotta slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I
So
had
yeah.
a business coach one time, and she would always say, like, you gotta slow down to speed up,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
And the one thing that I truly think about sometimes, that when we are not being present in the moment because we're thinking about all the things that we need to do or that we want to do, or we're trying to do all the things, like what is the true motive behind it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we have to evaluate ourselves and be like, why am I doing this? And it could go
Right.
back to you understanding the places of your heart that hasn't been healed, right? The
Yeah.
places you're still being a people pleaser, the places that you are looking for like love, validation, and
Yes.
all of those things. Like, are you doing this from a pure heart? Are you doing this to chase money? Because the word of God tells us that we shouldn't chase money.
Right.
And it's very important for us to just check in with ourselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, where you just like check in and like, how are you feeling?
Right.
Successful people always say that write the top 3 things down that you need to do, like your to-do list, just three
Right.
things, and just knock out those 3 things, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
if you get other things done, great, but just focus on those 3 things.
Yeah.
And there's many different ways that you can plan out your life, you can plan out your day. You just have to figure out what works for you. Some people do the
Yep.
3 things, some people do a whole list. Some people do time blocking, right? Where they block out, like, literally every hour is
Yeah.
accounted for. Some people make
Yeah.
lists where they put urgent, important, important, but not urgent, urgent, but not
Right.
important. Like,
Right.
some people use digital calendars, some people use paper, paper physical calendars. So you have to figure out what's important for you and what needs to go in your day, right? And
Yeah.
then you create the space for all of those things. So if you are supposed to be cooking, then you're present in cooking, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be reading a book, then you're present in reading the book, because then everything is accounted for. Like you
Hmm.
have the space, you have the time to focus and work on these different things. So go ahead and create your calendar and create your schedule for whatever works for you. Don't worry about what other people are doing and how
Right.
day in their life is and how they do things. You only have control over yourself,
That's right.
and you have to do what works for you. And just because it works for somebody else, so what if it doesn't work for you? You're not someone else, you're you. So you have to
Yeah.
do what works for you. And maybe it's a little, and maybe you have to try multiple things till you get to what works for you.
Right. Right.
And we can't get caught up in, well, this person is doing it like that. This person is doing it like this. Or even if you didn't, as we always say, you got to give yourself grace, right?
Hmm.
Because it's a
Hmm.
process. Like if you have been this way that you are for years, then it's going to take you some time to start changing your habits,
Right.
right? And so you got to
Right.
give yourself grace. Start small and then work towards your goal and put up your stop sign. So if you are reading a book and your mind starts to wonder why you're reading the book, you pause,
Right.
you put up your stop sign, your mental stop sign, and then you
Hmm.
continue reading.
Yeah.
But don't just give up and give in.
Right. Right. I mean, those are all good things. You know what I mean? Like yeah, we have to give ourselves grace every day. Every day it's a journey, you know what I mean? It's a battle, you know, and I think that with the way that society is now, you know what I mean, everything is like the microwave, right? We want that instant gratification. We want to put it in there, heat it up and be like, boom, it's ready like right now. That's not how life works. You know what I mean? Like you want to take your time and do the proper steps so that you have longevity with the things that you want to do. And it's not just happy, but it's joy. Joy that's coming from the inside because you've been filled up, you know what I mean? And that's going to sustain you and push you forward to what you need to go and do. It's not just happiness because you have these material things or you're, you know what I mean, just that thing in the moment because that's not gonna last long. You know what I mean? It's gonna cool off and you're gonna be like, well, wow, what else can I do now to get that same feeling with what I just did? You don't want that. So really think about what's going to fill you up. What's really bringing, like, do you have a hobby? What is it? What do you really like to do? And it's not about, you know, what your friend likes or what your mom likes or your sister likes. What do you like? We can't compare ourselves to anybody else because we were meant to be just us, authentically us, walking in that authenticity. It's not, you know what I mean? So we have to just focus on us first and filling up that cup in order to move forward. And like you said, give yourself grace because we're not always gonna get it right. We're not. We're not perfect by no means. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be, and that's how you learn. You have to make those mistakes in order to learn the right way and get to the right path that you need to get to. So it's okay and celebrate that. You know what I mean? With the small wins that you have, if you have three things on your list, but you only got to one, celebrate that. Don't be so hard on yourself. And I know I'm guilty of it. I could be like, dang, I didn't get those three things done. I did not do that, but I got one done. So celebrate. Okay, tomorrow's a new day. How can I go about making those other two things that I didn't get to done in that day, in that moment? And you got it.
Yeah, you definitely have it. But just, I mean, listen, what do you got to lose? Just give it a try. Like the next time you go out to eat with a friend, a spouse, whatever, put your phone down and just be present.
Right.
Like the next
Yes.
next time you decide to sit down and watch a movie, put your phone down, or
Hmm.
if you go to a show, a kids activity, put your phone down and just
Yeah.
be present, right? Just focus on that one thing
Mhm.
and see how it feels and see the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Because if you have people who always saying something about like you're always on your phone or you don't ever listen, then that's a sign that you need to start making some changes.
Right. Right. And not only that, like we spend idle time just scrolling through our phones. You know what I mean? Like just sitting there and then before you know it, it's been an hour. And you haven't done what you needed to do and you're just like, oh my goodness, I've just wasted an hour that I can't get back. I think the best thing that I've done probably is like take a break from social media. You know what I mean? And really like I was probably like 30 days or so maybe that I did and I didn't even miss it. You know what I mean? Like if you just not do it. And you can start small, whether it be like an hour a day that, okay, look, I'm not gonna go on social media or whatever. I'm gonna do something else for that hour, like you said. And then each day just kind of continue to build that until now it becomes that habit of like, you know what, I really don't need to be just aimlessly scrolling on social media. It's not getting you anywhere. You're just comparing yourself or, attempting to compare yourself to other people. For what? For what? It's not real. People put out there what they want you to see. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's not real life. They put the stuff out there to highlight, okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing, but lo and behold, that's probably not what they're doing. It is not what it looks like.
Facts. Facts. So we
Yes.
are Freedom Circle Podcast. We truly thank you for tuning in, and we just pray that you're able to gain something from this episode and that you're able to take the steps to truly be present in the moment and see the benefits of being present in a moment. So until next time, I'm Marcia.
And I'm Sean Trees.